brief twit, Elon Musk did not get quite the reception that he was hoping for during a cameo appearance with comedian Dave Chappelle.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the richest man in the world. Cheers and booze, I see. Elon.
Oh, that's awesome.
Elon.
Cheers and booze, everybody. Cheers and booze. I mean, yes, a lot of booze. There's a ton of booze, but also some cheers. I could hear a little bit, I guess. I'm not too good at, parsing out the crowd. But maybe I would say maybe 65, 70% booze. I could be wrong. Hearing's not great. Look, what's funny is I don't know if either of them were expecting the audience to respond like this. I mean, I don't know. There's a huge failure by Dave Chappelle to read the room. And of course, Elon Musk looks like a definite idiot. Like he had no idea. Like, oh God. Oh no. This was a bad idea. This was a terrible idea. I don't understand. Now, here's the thing. As a comic, Dave Chappelle's used to having a hostile audience. So he's like, fine, he's cracking jokes. He's also kind of punching down at the audience, saying that they were in the cheap seats. Those were the ones that were booing. Whatever. But Elon Musk is genuinely surprised. He's like, I don't understand. I'm on Twitter and there's all these weird nerds that are like, that love me. Elon stan 69420. Like, he always says like super nice things about me. I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on here. How can people hate me? You just found out that Twitter isn't real life. I mean, by the way, he exudes such divorced dad energy. It's really amazing that he thinks he's like a really popular person. Just because, again, he seems to be popular on Twitter, especially among like crypto bots. Awesome. But hey, it gets better. There's another video. Take a look.
Dave, what should I say?
Don't say nothing.
Okay.
It'll only spoil the moment. Do you hear that sound, Elon? That's the sound of pending civil unrest. I can't wait to see which store you decimate next, motherfucker. You shut the fuck up with your boos. There's something better than you can do. Booing is not the best thing you can do.
Oh, I disagree. Booing is the exact thing that you should be doing right now. Look, so Chappelle, I mean, again, as a comic, he's just going to go and hit the audience right back. It's nothing that hasn't ever done before, right? But the response to call the audience poor, I don't know. It's weird. Like, bro, they paid for seats to your show. They paid for that. Oh yeah, it might be the cheap seats, but they still gave you money. I don't quite understand that. But I guess, I don't know. It's always weird when rich people, they get this dose of reality and they can't understand it. They don't get it like, oh my God, how am I not as popular as I thought I was in my head? I'm surrounded by all these yes men who love everything that I do. And yet there are real people that are like, oh, I don't like what you're doing. And I think you suck. Well, that's what Elon Musk is dealing with. And look, here's the thing. Elon could have done so much for his reputation, and instead, tanked it. He tanked it. Look, I remember back in 2015, 2016, he was considered, Elon Musk, he's a tech guy. He's doing a really good thing. Tesla is making electric cars. Then the guy goes mask off completely. Into, you know, exposing himself as like some right-wing weirdo. And then, of course, as a lot of right-wing weirdos are, very, very thin skin. The thinnest skin, baby soft. Cannot understand, cannot deal with having a little bit of criticism. And then, of course, you know, any criticism, he then turns and goes after who? The weakest people. For example, the trans community. And it is funny that, you know, his wife left him for Chelsea Manning. She definitely moved up in both ways, both of them. And then, you know, his daughter also transitions. And so he's got some weird bone to pick with trans people. And that's, of course, why he's hanging out with Dave Chappelle. Well, they're both rich people, and they both hate trans people. It's a match. But even Dave Chappelle's audience, which, again, it's not going to be full of radical left-wingers, right? They go to paid for Dave Chappelle. They know they're going to get some transphobia in that set, all right? They still didn't want to deal at all with Elon Musk. Not interested. Not interested in Elon. Great. By the way, getting to the topic of unhinged left, here's what Musk's tweet about this was. And it's a lot of copium. Technically, it was 90% cheers and 10% boos, except during the quiet periods. But still, that's a lot of boos, which is a first for me in real life, but frequent on Twitter. Are you sure? Sure, I see y'all here replies. And then added, it's almost as if I've offended San Francisco's unhinged leftists. But nah. I'm just not used to boos. Well, what if they weren't, that weren't actually booing. They were saying boo-lon, or even boolean, which is like that's a thing. That's a computer thing. It's a tech thing. Okay. It was very, very smart. See, they weren't booing. They were saying boolean. Something. But look, if you're at a Dave Chappelle show, as I mentioned, you're not an unhinged leftist. Again, that's not his audience. And honestly, though, when Chappelle isn't being transphobic or complaining about so-called cancel culture, yeah, he's actually kind of funny. But again, when you bring in those things, well, that's, and by the way, he's been stuck on this, you know, transphobia, cancel culture for too long. Let me just add that you have not been canceled when you keep getting a bunch of Netflix specials worth millions of dollars. You're very, very rich now. What's the issue? I mean, it's also not funny when you treat criticism with, oh, you just hate me because you're poor. And it's funny because that's usually what you would hear from a Chappelle or a Musk fan when you actually do substantive criticism of what they're doing. Imagine being so sad as to simp for another man's wallet, to deflect your daddy from criticism. You know? Daddy Musk is not going to notice you. Senpai isn't going to notice you. You can stop with that, okay? Like, recover your balls. You've obviously given them away to someone else. Pick up your dignity and stop defending a rich man who will never notice you. Now, that said, he does notice other things when people make fun of him, for example, or when they track his private jet, because he shadow bans them. There's another story that I couldn't get to today, where the guy who, you know, tracks Elon Musk's jet says that he was shadow banned on Twitter. Look, at the end of the day, as I said before, Elon Musk could have done so much good. He could have done a lot of things with his money. Yes, it's apartheid money from an emerald mine. He could have done a lot of good things. Instead, he buys a $44 billion like midlife crisis and inflicts it on the rest of us. Also, he could, look really cool for right wingers. What a sad, sad existence.